Today, Thursday, we're going to have church. Not church. Because, see, churches is nasty. They so corrupt. You know, they ain't telling you to prepare for God's coming. They telling you that God told you to give them $2,000. That's what Bishop or whoever he was whining said. He said, no, that woman came up with $1,200. You know, a lot of things you could do with $1,200. He said, no, you don't get it. She said, I'm going to work up on that $800. He said, no, you don't get it. See, me, I would have said, I tell you what, I fix all of this. I have a talk with God. And can I have my $1,200 back, please, Pastor? And I would have got up, me and my child would have walked out of that church and let that be that. But anyway, we're going to have church today. It is amazing how so many people who sit here and say they have a relationship with God, yeah, I'm going to use that verse, with God, that they just know they have a relationship with God and all this stuff that's going on, and they sitting up here running the church and talking about their pastor, and all the red signs are there, the sirens are going off, and they still sitting here saying, God got me. Oh, he got me. Oh, God is going to watch over. No, God is, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. This is a Bible verse for those who don't know. You know, when you know, David was a wise man. David was he was of God's heart. He loved David. Even when David did wrong, he loved David because David repented. But David knew that when he repented, God still had the, disciplinary. Come on. Some of us got, our families, our mama said, you know what? You said, Mama, I'm sorry. Yeah. Or you said, Dad, I'm sorry. Yeah, but you know what? I still got to punish you for what you did. See, this is what's going on now. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So anyway, David, this is a Bible verse, come on now, we know David. See, David wanted this woman, but she was married. And David knew she was married, so David had her husband killed so he can get with this woman. Some of y'all probably doing the same thing. But David repented. But God said, you know what, David, I love you so much, but you know what? What you did was wrong. I got to punish you. And see, that's what's going on now. See, Trump ain't planning on getting out that house. He ain't playing, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take more than voting to get that old shitty mess out. Oh, yes, it's going to take a lot. He doing everything he can. He can. But this ain't going to be the first king that try to take over the world or America. Read your Bible if you know your Bible. So anyway, but Trump is one of many. But so anyway, he know he going to hell. But he started doing his devil's course. Tearing down the White House. That's the people's house. Saying he built it. He's paying for this. Notice it went from 260 million to 300 million. Oh, no. That's 300 and some million that could feed families. That if you really cared about you, feed families, protect health care. Come on now, what else? Lower grocery prices, help with housing. But no, he got to look like a king. All that gold, cheap shit up in there, he got to look like a king. And he messing over, he destroying our history. Because did you know that the West Wing was built in 1804? And you know who built it? Yeah. A ballroom probably ain't nobody gonna come up to. Ain't nobody. But you still got some of them, they Malcolm X said it best. You got some field Negroes who wants to be free, and you got them house Negroes that just happy to be where they at. Now, what better place can we be? It sound like Memphis, don't it? Come on now. Some of y'all was so happy to get that that National Guard, y'all can be able to tap dance in the street. I'm playing your music. Anyway, you're so happy. You're so happy you could go to the grocery store. That's the little bitty thing. But see, you didn't think. You didn't think. No, you couldn't have. You want crime off the street? Let's go back and start back and see if you really wanted crime off the street. Some of y'all would have got your ass up and vote. Yeah, I keep preaching about that. Y'all would have got your ass up and vote. You would have took a little bit more time on who you were voting for and what cause and what platform that you voting for. See, black folks got in. See, I'm going to tell you something about white politicians and black politicians. All of them are crooked. But see, white politicians go in and they get a bag too, but see, they want their community looking a little bit better. Some of them do. Some of them. You got some black politicians. They want the same thing. See, we had that. Memphis used to have that. But see, y'all got them crooked ass friends and families that you know. They became part of the Democratic Party. They was chair. They became this and they became that. And you notice that nothing really happened to them. They just moved on. They could have made Memphis one of the hardest places to infiltrate, but they made it the most easiest thing to infiltrate. Easiest. Y'all stop going to City Hall. You stop holding people accountable. You stop making excuses and accepting the norm that crime was high. People were getting killed. Visitors and residents was getting killed. Then you know what? And then now you got black politicians that sitting here or candidates that sitting here saying, well, crime is in every city. So that's your red flag right there. That's your red flag. We don't have too many murderers and shootouts and shit like that here. Because these people care. But y'all care. But y'all, you know what? It was too much to turn your family, friends, or snitch on somebody because you were so scared they were going to get you. But they probably already got you because they got you a prisoner in your own house. Paying a house note on the jail cell. Yeah. So anyway, so now Memphis is trying to take back Memphis, just like we're trying to take back the country. But just like I said, you know, it's amazing how black folks think. They never think that it's going to happen to them. Oh, it happened to the Hispanics. It happened to the farmers. It happened to so many people. White women, federal government. But no, black folks, it don't happen to us. It couldn't. It can't. No. Selling us out. Yeah, they selling us out. They doing all this stuff, but it don't happen to us because we God's favorite. We protected by God. We anointed and highly favored. Oh, yeah, highly. Sound like a seasoning, don't it? Yeah, it sounds like, may I have Grey Poupon with those fries and chips, please? So now, just like everybody else, he's tearing down our symbolism, our East Wing. He's tearing it down. He's tearing it down, part of black history. And you still have some black coons that sit here and praise that man. You know, Antonio Parkins, I'm finna call you out on this. You shouldn't have went up on national TV and said, yeah, they came here and brought crime down. You just admitted, you just helped the cause, his cause. I would have rather said nothing than to said that. I wouldn't have rather said nothing. Or I would have said that, you know what? I would have stopped blaming the people that caused it than to sit here and say that. Because now it's going to be harder than ever for y'all to get them out. And the federal courts or the state court, I think they're in the federal court, is going to agree with you because half of the people that's in there want Memphis to be all Republican. Y'all had it for so long. That everything that you took, the snippet that you said in that comment with Channel 3 News, Marsha Blackburn took that out and clipped it to the world. That you Negroes are happy that Trump came in to cause your lives. But here's some drawback though. Now it's coming out that they're arresting innocent black citizens. Yay! One lady lost her job because they said she had a DUI, which was not true. See, now they ain't got to have a reason to pull you over. Mass incarceration in the jails now gonna cause them to do something else. Because see, 201 Poplar is under federal jurisdiction of overcrowding and civil rights of inmates. You notice they ain't touching, you notice Trump ain't touching the inmates. He ain't touching the inmates. He ain't trying to make things better by fixing the inmate population, by doing something with them inmates that's in jail, that's been convicted of a crime, that's need to be sent somewhere. No, that's too much like right. He fixing, what he doing is, he ain't finna violate their rights. He finna come out here and violate every walking, law-abiding citizen. And see, crime has started picking up now. They finding bodies now back in Memphis. So apparently that short-lived 2-3 weeks is started back. Because see, crime now is finna get back on the rise. Because you know what? They ain't got no food. Next month they ain't gonna have no food. Christmas coming up. You know how black folks in holidays are. They don't think about no bills. They don't think about nothing else. But yeah, that's what they think. Y'all gonna go get your nails done. If you don't pay your rent, you gonna go get them swanky outfits. If you don't pay your car note, you gonna do all of this. You gotta look good for the holidays. You gotta eat good for the holidays. Bump everybody else. See, here at this house, we stopped doing holidays long, even before I came here. I may cook a rib, a slab or two. May not do that. We had spaghetti and greens. Sometimes we had chicken. One Christmas, I made a big bowl of chicken noodle soup. I had that. See, holidays don't bother me like it is. And I got grandbabies. It don't bother me like it used to be. Because you know what? I just be happy to wake up. But see, now y'all got a problem with now it's really finna come to me as he tear down our house. And now he's cutting out for, he's willing to let it go for so long. If you notice, he ain't talking about getting the budget passed. No, he blaming Democrats. Because if he can blame it long enough, if he can blame Chuck Schumer and the other guys and stuff, he all right. He gonna wear that out. Just like he did that Kirk guy. He gonna wear it out. He can't wear it out no more. So what if you lose your job? So what? So what if you working free? No, he ain't even talking about paying you for the time that this stuff going on. But then he gonna turn around and with the expansion and stuff. See, they ain't even went through protocol. See, they ain't even went through proposal. He started tearing down stuff before they even did the procedure. See, that's the kind of Negro that he is. That's the kind of shitty mess that he is. And Memphis fell for it. Because Memphis has become a shitty mess. Yes. See, when you know what, you don't let nobody come in your city and talk about what they gonna do. And then you felt, no, I would have filed something with the federal court and I would have told the federal court he has no plans. First of all, he has no jurisdiction, but then he has no plans on how he gonna do it. How he gonna do a mass incarceration. And then I would have reminded the federal court that several inmates have complained about the overcrowding, which is a federal constitution. And I said, well, if he arrests him, where is he gonna put him at? Where is he going to put them at? Where is he going to feed them? Where this resources going to come from? What jurisdiction? Who has jurisdiction over what? What crime is the crime that he's going to commit? Is it a state? If they pull you over, is it a state crime, a county crime, or a federal crime? See, I would have went all into that deep doo-doo shit. I would have made them outline that shit to the T. And saying that all this stuff that they doing is unconstitutional. See, I would have did that. I would have made Trump. I would have made Pam Bundy and that cross-eyed Cash Patel explain how they gonna do this shit, how they gonna do it, and how they gonna coordinate it with the Memphis police and with the sheriff department. See, that's me. That's how I would have did it. I would have made them break that shit down to the T, but they didn't have to, cause Paul Young. If you notice, he been quiet lately. He been so quiet. They said, well, why is Paul Young not in that suit? Because see, then I'm going to tell you why. See, if Paul Young had gotten that suit, see, it would have came out that him and Marsha Blackburn made an agreement to bring him there. That he wanted to not only look good, he wanted a bag. They promised him something. And he didn't get it. He's still holding on to that promise. Like a bad chick. So, right now, when I wake up, America looks the same, but it's not. Things are not the same. This reminds me of a movie, a TV series called From, where in the daytime, it looks like a city, but at night, it becomes a monster. We are in a monster. We are in a nightmare that's getting worse by the day. Yeah. And now we don't know who to trust. It's hard to trust. Hard to trust the candidates that's coming in. And it's hard to trust the ones that are there. But I'm going to tell you something about God. God exposed evil. He does. He's exposing it now. And whether you want to believe it or not, or who it is and what it is and how it is, it's happening. But the Bible also speaks on that. It says that, there's going to be prophets, false prophets. But he said, my sheep will know my voice. It's some folks that don't even believe in God that know his voice. And there's some that run the church, figuring if they run to the church, they pay their tithes, they sit here and do all this and that and this in the church, that God is going to give them favor and highly favor. Who you worshiping, baby? Because the devil know the Bible too. And some of y'all following a false prophet and expect to go to heaven on it. Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness. Some of y'all going to be so disappointed and turned down. When I go to church and somebody invite me to the church and it looks like I'm going to a Luther or what is one of them KISS concerts or I'm going to a concert that I could have paid at the ticket hub, I get up and leave. Because you're there for entertainment purposes. And there was a church in here in Chattanooga that told me something. That the church is in a business, is in it for the business. In it for the business. That was the last time I really actually went to church, unless it was a funeral. Then, So the question we have to ask today is this right here. Because the America that was racist, that we knew was racist, that we knew was all of this. Now it has come out and screwed its nasty head. And we even got some black races. We got some Hispanic races. Just the other day, it's a Indian place, a distribution place. Them men them two Indians look just as dark as me. And you know what? I went in there because I wanted to know what business was. Oh, they were so cold-hearted, like I was a criminal. I had to look. This is in East Ridge, Tennessee. And looking at me, we don't deal with the public, we deal with distributors. And so I was like, but I guarantee you, in a couple of years from now, they're going to be hoping they get some money. They're going to be wishing they had some money. Darker than me. But they feel like because they got straight hair, they white. No. So what are you white folk gonna say now? See, if we talk about unity, one thing I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this real quick. You know what? Some of the closest people will do more harm than the ones that's far back. In Black America, we need to stop looking at people by their race and color and look at those who unite. Because I'm going to tell you something. All those gay folks, all those white men and women that's taking protests to the street, that's sitting here, all these transgender, these biracial children, these people that's out here fighting, protesting, doing what they do, those are my family. That's who I unite with. I don't unite with somebody who's supposed to be my color and doing me more harm. I don't unite with people who sit here and supposed to be my color and don't see the same thing and sit here and speak rhetoric of it don't matter, but that as long as they black, they doing it, I'ma support them. No. My family is the ones that's helping protect my reproduction rights, even though I may or may not have any, or my daughters, or better yet, my right to live, my right to eat, my right to due process, that programs that may be, sufficient. I'm going to tell you something for those of you who don't know. Them Democrats are not, y'all sit here and talk about how they didn't fight, how they didn't stand up. Now they fighting and standing up. They fighting and standing up because you know what? The only thing that's on there, he's trying to cut it out now before 2026. And the only thing he's doing, they're fighting. Now they're fighting. They're fighting for us. They're fighting for us. The little ones that they have, they're fighting for us. Fuck a budget. Stand up. This reminds me of the Montgomery bus when they I'm getting tongue twisted. When they stop riding the bus. When people stop riding the bus and walk to work. It's time we start standing up and stop sitting here bending the knee to this bullshit. Stand up. Fight. Memphis, you got a long way to go. But it's time for you to either stand up and fight or kiss his ass later. But seem like you're kissing his ass now. Wipe your mouth and go wash your face. And let President Trump know. No, fuck him. Turd Trump know that you don't kiss ass for nobody.